Do you like to travel? Well, we certainly do. But traveling by plane was always rushed, never enough time to really enjoy the places we were visiting. To travel by sailboat would be more relaxed and would allow us to see the world at our own pace. Plus, it's the life we have always longed for. So we took some sailing lessons on a CYA Cruise and Learn course and started to build a sailboat. This is the story of how we did it, a boat building adventure before the actual sailing adventure began. We wanted spacious accommodations for two, with a comfortable layout, but not too large to handle sails and get her hauled through the mountains. After much searching and deciding, a Bruce Roberts 43 Mark II was to be our boat. The first day of the boat building adventure. Before the concrete was poured, we made rows of pipe inset into it for the frames of the tent. The frames were made from regular chain link fence pipe. First, the lines on the blueprints need to be transferred to the plate. To maximize efficiency and minimize the loss of plate, the frame halves need to be positioned to cover as much of the plate as possible. We made paper frames from the study plans and flipped them around a scale sheet that represented the plate. It was like doing a giant blank jigsaw puzzle, but eventually we got it. Well, all of the frames punched on the rainy day need to be fixed. Some were almost a 1/4 inch out, and a few others needed a little added on. So off we went, grinding them down. In fact, we did a lot of grinding. We even took pieces to work to grind if there might be a slow day. We noticed that as the weld length increased, the plate pulled in excessively to the point that it overlapped. Another concern was penetration. Okay, here is the quality of the welds we're getting, or how far they're going in. It's not a bad penetration, not quite 1/8 of an inch though. We tried all different kinds of things. We decided to bevel everything, I think. Beveling the thick plate would allow for better penetration, but still caused problems with cooling. Long welds would cause the plate to curl up too. After some more reading, Gina found out that staggering the welds on the both sides would stop the curling problem. The strong back will support the boat and ensure an even surface to build on. Its construction was easy, but getting it level was difficult. Once we finished the first frame, the rest followed easily and quickly. With the frame standing, the sheer size of the boat became evident. It was exciting to see the shape appear before our eyes. We decided to take a day off and build a gantry for the chain hoist. Some heavy lifting is on the horizon, and this will make things a lot easier. The next part of the project is to add in some half stations. Didn't notice until several were in place. Luckily, we had Gina's amazing flat bar bender and were able to straighten them all out. Finally, after a long delay, the radius plate has arrived. The first two pieces to be served up are near the bow. The 10-foot pieces were cut to match the amount of radius frame on the boat. The actual radius is 30 inches, so that's 60 times 3.14. We'll be using a 1/4. Carry the 2. 188.4. 47.1. But the curve is less than 1/4 of a circle, so that calculation doesn't matter anyway. You see, anything that is curved becomes very rigid and just doesn't like to bend any other way. To the edge to be cut around, a line is marked. It's important that the ruler stays at a right angle all along. This way, a perfect copy will be lofted. A note on nylon jackets. They may melt and weld spatter, but only boat builders weld and grind in nice leather jackets. We ended up using every large clamp there was to pull this stubborn heavy plate in. The other side was tricky because the clamps kept slipping off the finished side, so Gina welded little cups for the clamps to sit in. It's really neat to walk through the hull now it's all closed in. But winter came and ended our weekend project until spring. Balancing chain on the end resulted in the jack getting fired across the yard whenever the chain slipped off of it. The more Gina welded, the more I ground, and the more I ground, the more she welded, it seemed. Thankfully, she helped me with the last bunch as my arms were getting pretty tired. But we have seen pictures of massive cradles on rollers used to turn the boat over. This may be a good solution for mass production, but for a one-off build like ours, it just seems to be a waste of materials and time to do it that way. Gina isn't nervous about anything usually, but I caught her with a worried look. The day to turn the boat over has arrived. Before it reached them. Cameras clicking behind us, we nervously held our lines, even though if she started to turn, there wouldn't be much we could do about it. Now, rusty from sitting outside all winter, I guess we should have painted it. Anyways, the system is to start at the center, then do 6.5 cranks at each mark on each side. Using the level offset a bit, a smooth curved slope can be seen. We followed the blueprints for the camber, but a camber can be figured out easily. Gina looks pooped. No wonder, she's been working on the... Okay, I won't say it. Putting the aft bulkheads. As you probably know, bulkheads divide off areas of the boat for privacy, extra space, and in our case, safety. Directly on the plate, and join the dots to get the shape. The only thing that was nasty was getting the stringer slots properly lined up. Each wooden stick denoted a stringer, then twist into 10 degrees at the extreme forward end of the cabin top, being careful not to distort those angles while welding by tapping the plate one way or the other and tapping in the wedges along the deck edge. Because of this, the pilot house roof has an odd problem with height. The maximum width is in the middle, so to get the top straight, the sides would need to curve up. After bending some frames for the cabin top, I was careful this time. Gina quickly tacked them in place, and this time they all lined up perfectly. But from below, it resembles a U-boat still. That'll be remedied shortly. But we think by inserting a split pipe, the resulting round edge is nicer and safer. Now to get the rest of the roof on. Welding had to be done with care because the plate joins in between frames. We thought and allowed a slight downward slope for water drainage. It should be the same as the aft of the coaming. But somehow we must think of a way to get a template of the transom from inside the hull. The cut flowed down very nicely. Next, the deck of the swim platform must be cut. Took several tries as it really did not want to go. I suppose if the drain pipes were plugged, we could use it for a bathtub or, hey, maybe a hot tub?